Did you see that report that came out this week listing people who talk and converse and behave like us as national security threats?
Yeah.
That was the thing about the Manoswamp?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Literally, there's a guy running for Congress in New Jersey who was convinced that, the last half an hour of us talking is the equivalent to the Taliban and ISIS.
There's something to say here, because some other people have worn Ku Klux Klan masks on shows, and once you get to see some of the reactions of the kids that they meet, where they say bitches are trash, or I don't know, something like that to that effect. I mean, there's a real negative influence on some people, and I'm not sure these people talking, influencers, whatever you want to call them, really realize what the effect is to its full extent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's all wrong.
There was that clip of the fuck's that guy's name? Sneeko, and there was kids around him, and they were saying like disparaging, negative things about women
in the airport.
Yeah, all that stuff. That's where like these guys do some weird stuff. Like the Manoswamp gets a bad rap. It has a bad PR issue for a reason.
Yep.
Now, promoting positive masculinity, strength, virtues, all that sort of stuff, they're still going to have an issue with that too. But I think what the problem is there's not a lot of good men that are good at being men in the Manoswamp. Again, one of the reasons why I don't associate with them anymore. And they're going to amplify that, right? Like they're going to take something like that and they're going to turn it up to 17, and they're going to make a big deal out of it. They're going to get government funding. They're going to try to redirect traffic, which they talked about, in that article. 50, I don't know if you can link it in the private chat, and I'll put it in the live chat if anybody wants to look at it. Do you know what that thing was called?
I forget now, but it was literally, they were identifying prominent members of the Manoswamp and just saying all the content was the equivalent of, domestic terrorism. There was a guy who used to work for the State Department. He's running for Congress in New Jersey, and he's got soy written all over him. And again, as we've said a million times on here, weak men are the most dangerous men. And this guy looks
Institute,
like,
was that it?
I don't know. He looks like, your average suburban soy dad. He's running for Congress, and he's literally labeled like, our chat here might as well be the equivalent of ISIS chatter to him.
It was a brand new news piece. Let me try to pull it out. Grace implications of terrorism. I think this is it.
But I mean,
great replacement in the Manosphere, implications of terrorism.
Like, he was at the State Department, and he compiled all of this, and he was counterterrorism.
Yeah,
and he came up with this. But
I mean, look, I don't completely blame them. There's some real stupid shit that those fucking idiots say over and over again, and
dude,
they're not good people. They're not.
No, we had a campfire chat, and we're like, literally, why would you go? These guys prey on weak guys who can't get girls. And they're like, join me, and you'll be dripping in hose.
Yeah.
And you could probably teach them everything they need to know in about 20 minutes. And they do. They go off all retarded crap. And as I think I said last week, or in one of our group chats, if you want to learn to become a pickup artist, it's like getting someone who can't drive to finance and purchase a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I did a Google search on Manosphere terrorists, those two keywords, and then I hit news, and there's 3 articles in the last 2 weeks. So like anybody in that space, I mean, I said this years ago. I said, stupid name for the group, sounds like a gay nightclub, Manosphere. Losers in the group that you wouldn't want to have sit down at a table with your family or your kids, with some with skeletons in their closets, some with entire fucking graveyards. They're, bad people, like some decent information, but bad people. I mean, I've already aggregated and organized all the information in a very easy to consumable way in my book. I mean, you can get everything you need, 90% of what you need to know, like out of my book, The Unplugged Alpha. But just some real losers, and they're going to get, like you've seen what's happened in the last couple of weeks. I mean, who's had trouble in the Manoswamp? Just Pearly Things got either deplatformed or demonetized, Fresh and Fit. Who else? They named Rollo in that article. You know, the Godfather. I mean, you know, you go around calling yourself the Godfather, putting on Godfather costumes and shit. You know, they're going to come for you, you know.
Yeah, it's like
there you go.
Anybody that they see as downstream of the Tate brothers is a target.
Yeah,
essentially anything. Yeah, and again, it's a bunch of weak men who are going after. You know, I mean, since I started consuming your content in 2015, and since I joined the community, it's been like maybe 20% of our discussions have been about women, and the rest is like, just look what Moff is doing, dropping weight. Look what the other guys are doing. There's guys bouncing business ideas. It's been literally nothing to do with the core of the Manoswamp, which is a bunch of guys that can't get girls, getting advice from a bunch of other guys on how to get girls.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.